see the village bar. Stop and see if Charlie's there. Tell him who you are. And listen to his wisdom. And listen to his stories. And listen to his hopes and dreams, his downfalls and his glories. La da 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 da.
And we're back. Welcome to Villager People. I'm Andrew Perot. I'm your host. And today joining me is Lucia King. Everybody give it up for Lucia King. We're about to see how quickly we can do this episode because we took some good time. We had some really good people with us as guests that we really love talking to, and we love getting distracted by them because they're so fun. So me and Lucia were here last night. We got out of here, like 5 o'clock? Because we had to both bartend an event.
We went to bed at about 5 o'clock. I think we got out of here maybe 4.
Yeah, so we turned it around, got back in the studio at 8:30 in the morning to get this done. And that's the first time I've done that. I try not to do that, but hey, that's the life. That's the breaks of running a bar. And it makes it interesting. So anyway, we're going to get over to the guests. We have a lovely pair of songwriters who are endearing friends. Lucia, would you like to introduce them for us?
Yes, we have Tom Schreck and J.P. Olsen. Is that how you say it?
Yeah, Olsen.
Hello, America.
Good morning, Vietnam.
Tom was you were talking to your mom earlier before we started, right?
Yes.
And I
called her because she was recently on a podcast up in North Dakota.
Oh.
About local politics and things like that.
Oh yeah, do you want to get it? What's the relevance with your mom? Go ahead.
No, so my mom has been involved in the North Dakota Democrats in a big way over the past year or two, and she finds activism a great way to stay sane.
Oh wow, just such a great way of putting it.
Yeah, it's doing the work is what keeps her not just nihilistic about our current situation in the world. And it's a good attitude. It's an attitude that I have a hard time with personally. It's like I don't have it in me right now. Mm-hmm. But I mean, I vote.
Yeah, well, and I think both of you, I can say that y'all do a lot of good activism with just your songwriting. You know what I mean? It really, I know I enjoy both of you when you get up there and play to a point that it's you both have a very good vibe.
Oh, thanks.
Type of
Thank you.
And JP, what's how's the morning treating you?
I mean, I haven't had a beer out of a dog bowl before noon before.
Oh yeah, is it both y'all's first time? First dog bowls?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
It was my first beer actually, so it's really good.
It's JP is 18.
That's right.
It's Benjamin Button.
Yeah, that's right.
Aging in reverse.
Yeah, he's like I just learned to walk yesterday.
You know what's weird? We were talking about like AI and future stuff before.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
So in Benjamin Button's, if you clone, I actually know a person who did this. So a guy that I went to high school with has done well for himself. He had a cat that died, but before it died, he had it cloned. And he had the cat redelivered.
Wait, yeah, because I know they cloned a sheep. They've done. I know that was all over the news.
Dolly the sheep and all that stuff.
What year was that?
Dolly the sheep was like
97.
Oh, it was that much later. Yeah,
but Tom remembers very specifically.
But you do actually head for numbers. But this, if you take genetics from any species, so like if you want to clone yourself, like now I'd be 61. I could become a baby, but I'd be genetically a 61-year-old baby. So I'd have like back trouble at age 4.
Wow.
That's true.
So Benjamin Button's kind of more accurate than people realize.
Correct, yeah. But that literally is that's true.
I always had a problem with the realism of that movie, and I guess I need to rethink that.
Just if we could all just be, Brad Pitt aging backwards.
I think the biggest problem I had with that movie isn't doesn't he has a relationship with one lady, and then as he's getting younger, doesn't he like fall for her daughter or something?
I don't remember that. I think I saw it when
Possible.
it
I
came out.
never actually saw it.
Well, he has a moment where they
Neither of them have seen the movie. We've lost the plot.
But no, there's a moment where, their ages kind of coalesce.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they fuck. And then that's kind of like where that goes. They're kind of like, they both are like, well, that's kind of like,
Yeah,
this
this
is
is
gonna work.
the only opportunity.
It's like, that was fun. I'm married.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See you on the other side.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, he does.
And then there's
He
the
has,
other
like,
one
a
where
weird
he
fondness with
plays
his daughter.
the Grim Reaper in that other movie.
Brad Pitt?
Yeah.
Oh, he plays Death.
Yeah, he plays Death.
Yeah, meet Mr. Black or something.
Oh.
Meet
Joe Black.
Meet Joe
Joe
Black.
Black. That's it.
And he speaks Jamaican to the one lady.
Everything gonna be airy. Go over to Dr. Lady Mom, gonna be fine now. Obia. Right. Will be evil, I not evil, oh man.
Yeah, it's very hot. It's very viral. I see that, and it's
Well,
like
it's Brad Pitt. I mean,
it's Brad Pitt speaking Jamaican in a hospital.
I really loved Interview with a Vampire.
Me too.
I don't like the new show.
Antoinette. It's different. I don't have feelings for her. He did me some face and I drove him home. I heard your heart stamping! You watched the whole thing like some creeper. And then I watched you pull over and drain a dog.
I haven't seen it.
Oh, the Lestat show?
Yeah, I just saw it on here, on the TV here, and I was like,
Was it somebody? No. A regular was showing me a picture of Edward Norton and Brad Pitt. I think this was Dubois. He was showing me a picture of Edward Norton and Brad Pitt, and he goes, "Look!" And they were at the World Cup.
Yeah, I saw that.
And he was like,
watching
"Look,
them.
Edward Norton's by himself watching the World Cup." And it took me a second.
I understand
I was like,
that
no. I
reference.
literally said to him, I said, "No, Brad Pitt's right there. What are you talking?" He goes, "Who? What are you talking about?
That's
He's by himself." And I was like,
so
"Oh God."
good.
stupid
well, it's
Fight
a
Club
variation
joke.
of the John Cena joke.
That's funny.
Well, we're gonna get right into it, guys. I've had Lucia prepare the questions for this since she's a songwriter, and take it away, Lucia. What you want? What are we going?
all right, well, I mean, my first question was, you both have like a very unique sound, so I was wondering if that's something that occurred naturally. Like, did you find your sound, or did you have influences that you worked towards with your sound?
For me, I don't think it was ever that intentional. I like the things I like, and there's things I consider things that I maybe do well or that have interested me. And so, yeah, it's been totally organic. I haven't intentionally gone out of my way to sound unique. It's happened. They say it's patient and it's kind. They say it's foolish and it's blind. And even if the stars align, we're still lucky if we find that good love. It's your soul reflected back. It gets your story back on track. The definition's inexact, but you miss it when you lack that good love. Good love is an empty room filled one by one with memories. And good love is a simple tune turned masterpiece with harmony. Finding truth within a song, saying sorry when you're wrong. But sometimes things have gone too long, and moving out and moving on is good love. good love is the cause of every tragedy and broken heart. But good love is the mercy and forgiveness in a brand new start. For to help a friend in need and to help a mourner grieve. It's the molecules we breathe, both to give and to receive, that good love. It's the blood within our veins, all the joy and all the pain of good love.
Yeah, I mean, kind of same. I remember when I was younger and listening to interviews or reading, at the time, I guess would have been reading interviews with songwriters. I remember it kept being the people that had a kind of individualistic take were the people that I found most interesting. So like Lou Reed and Dylan and Neil Young and Tom Waits and Joni Mitchell, and they were all, their voices weren't traditional, their songs were odd.
Well, it's they have that kind of, they've come up with certain songs that are endearing in because of their iconic voices or sound. They're able to produce material that, and I was talking about this with someone on another podcast, that is eternal.
Yeah,
you know,
timeless.
I mean,
yeah.
I remember I worked.
There
with
we go. There's the actual word for it.
I worked with this guy one time who was perfectly nice, but a super normie, like the most normie dude. And I remember we were talking about Tom Petty. He's like, "Oh, I can't stand Tom Petty." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And he's like, "Oh, his voice." And I'm like, "What?" Like, and so I don't think I even understood how many people expect or kind of expect a certain thing to happen with music. So I never even thought about it like that. Mm-hmm. So often I'm like, I don't even know what anyone would think about any of this, because I just think about it as a thing that I'm doing.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
But
that's sort of,
you know, that's like somebody who wouldn't be able to stand looking at like a Picasso because it's not an exact representation of something.
Or like Andy
yeah,
Warhol.
the relatability.
Yeah, but they would want, I don't know what, Thomas Kincaid or something like.
But yeah, every once in a while, I'll talk to somebody who's just like they're doing some other thing, and it will always surprise me. Like, wow, I'm really out of touch with that particular way of looking at things. Like, I just don't even think like that. Mm-hmm. And so I feel like, to answer your earlier question, like you just kind of have your individual voice, and if you don't really think about much more than that, that's what you get, you know, in a way. So it's almost like being stunted in some very specific way.
Today, it's the best day of my life. So far, today, it's been a very sexy kind of day. When I say sexy, I don't mean it in the kind of a way that could make a woman close her eyes and wish that she was far from me. Oh, not today. I've got a way out of yesterday. I was a man of constant sorrow, living in a world with a furrowed brow. Now watch me move, it's in a perfect circle. I'm a big wheel now, so hold on to me and we'll roll away. Where do I start? I'm in love. I'm a volcano, and I will burn everything in my path. I can never change. I can never change. I can never change. I can never change. I can change. I could never change. I could never change. I can change. Today. 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 Oh. Today. Oh. Today.
Well, but it's also like, you know, why are we in this? We're in this to create, and we're artists, and this is our art form. There are some people who...
Wait, I just want to interject because I'm in it for situations like
Yeah,
this.
we're gonna get a reel of JP drinking a dog bowl at this.
Some
point.
people, and I don't mean to sound too judgmental about this, but some people are intentionally trying to create a career for themselves and going after a commercial sound and making very palatable music. And like, thank goodness that music exists too. But that's just not what I am in this for.
Yeah, go ahead, Tom. Yeah, why are you like what? Yeah, why are you in this?
Because I'm an artist and this is my medium. That's it.
So you consider yourself like a Picasso or a painter, or like, you know what I mean? Like you're just
but
really.
Picasso's like here, I'm like here.
Yeah. But because I was asking her because I was like, Tom is so like, you're very precise and you know what you're trying to go for.
Yeah.
But I don't see you kind of clawing at trivial like marketing stuff. And you know,
I should do better at that.
Well, no, but I think, but it seems like you're, and I always tell this to people. You kind of, you know, people are, you know, if you were to ask someone, hey, where do you see yourself in 5 years? You know how many people would lie? You know what I mean? Like a lot of people would be like, oh well, I'm like, because they would kind of gauge who they're talking to and just like an interview, and they would just say something. But like what, and I've noticed this from you is and a lot of songwriters I know more so than other people, is they've really kind of thought about that, and they really are more authentic when giving that answer, why they're doing it. You know, as a bass player, like I was just trying to make some money.
I mean, I've also just been around a long time. Like I don't want to be unrealistic about my own goals and, you know.
And you work in marketing, you were saying, right?
I do, yes.
Yeah, so like, and what has that shown you about that side of the coin that maybe you didn't know beforehand?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
I don't have an answer prepared, but I think just how rapidly things can change, especially in the current day and age. You know, the landscape has just changed a ton over the last 10 years. It's almost like if you get really attached to a particular social media platform, like you're already behind. You're not ahead of the curve anymore.
I feel that way with it because I got so attached to Instagram, and then finally, like this show, someone's like, "Do you have a TikTok?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah."
I never really got big on Twitter, and then people have kind of moved me on Twitter, so I'm like, all right. I was over Twitter before y'all were.
Yeah, because it seems like, and these platforms are kind of like escalating, and then you know, going away. And like I know, like with Instagram, for instance, people will like. They'll be on it a lot, and see, I do it professionally, and a lot of us do. But like for people that aren't doing it professionally, they kind of go on there and then they recede, you know. So it's really that's
guilty.
Well, I mean, but like Instagram's not consistent. Like you know, in marketing, it seems like the most important thing, and it keeps coming back to this when we're talking about PR marketing, is emails. You know, every time I talk to someone who has nothing to do with the art form, just the marketing aspect, they're just like, oh, it's all about the emails. You know, like talking to my dad, like he's like, have you put together an email list? And it's like, what? Like,
and
really?
I mean, I know that to be true from stuff that I've done in the past, the way people will talk about it, but why is it, like, what is the reason? I just know it to be true, but why emails? What is it about it?
Because everyone has one.
Right.
Yeah. It's really just that simple.
Because you do need it for everything.
And it's stayed relevant.
Yeah.
And
Since
it's
the
like
90s.
I could be wrong, but it's like 70% of Americans are on some form of social media. I believe that.
Where
to
do you
be the
find
case.
yourself on, JP? I mean, are you like?
Sorry,
What social media platform do you find yourself looking at a lot?
I kind of don't
Yeah?
actually. Yeah, and it's not.
It's refreshing. I'm telling you.
I feel like I remember early on when Facebook came out, a bunch of my friends were like, "Oh, you should totally get on it. It's a good thing." And I remember instantly going like, I don't know if I'm going to like that. But then I could see the benefit, but it never outweighed the kind of feeling of like, I don't know if it just didn't feel particularly good to me. So I'll scan through stuff. But I'm obsessed with YouTube. Obsessed with it.
Yeah.
Like I get the
every
vast
day.
majority of my information that's video is coming through that. But is that social media? Like not really, but some people say it could be depending on how you frame it and blah, blah, blah. But
YouTube.com?
YouTube.com.
www.
Yeah.
I've heard of it.
Yeah. I'll .com you down.
Man,
That was good. That was good.
Thank you.
I remember when YouTube came out. YouTube was like the Wild West when that thing came out.
Oh, so much of it was so interesting. You could find all kinds, because I went down a rabbit hole. We were talking about this. I went down a rabbit hole of watching early interviews with Burt Reynolds. Freaking fascinating to me.
Exactly the same day, a man stood across from me and he said to Clint, "You talk too slow and you've got this chip on your tooth, which you refuse to get fixed, and your Adam's apple sticks out. I mean, it sticks way out here. It's ridiculous. It's terrible." So I said, "I'm sorry, we have to let you go." And I said, "Excuse me, sir, well, what is it that I do bad?" And he said, you can't act."
So interesting. And it's like, or like I want to see Al Green do a live performance coming up. Just incredible, like anything you want. So, and I was really struck by this. I remember like 2 or 3 years ago, the first time that I was at somebody's house and they were watching YouTube on a television, and we were watching this obscure Canadian show done by this guy who would be like, "I'm going to camp out in the woods for a day." And it's going to,
you watch. I mean, Lucia watches like you watch people build shit in the woods.
Oh yeah, it's called bushcraft.
Yeah,
it's great.
Yeah,
they go and the guy like goes into the woods with his
LARPing
dog.
as an Aborigine.
Yeah, he goes into the woods and he doesn't bring anything and he just builds.
That's
these
the guy.
houses.
I think that's
like
I couldn't stop.
I don't even know what his name is. It's like Hakar or something.
It sounds like
she puts it on for the kids.
Oh, yeah, they love it.
It had this soothing quality. Like during COVID, everybody got into that cake baking show. It's like that for me. I'm like, oh, it's like, and so. But what I'm fascinated by is like something that costs like $1 to make is pushing out a show that could cost $50 million a season, and it's all the same.
Yeah. So
once it's on a screen, I was fascinated.
Get into that real quick because you have experience in doing production, right?
Yeah, I was a journalist and a filmmaker.
Don't try to understand them, just rope and tie and brand them, and she'll be waiting at the end of my ride. There were no artists in my family. I was, however, an only child. So I had a very vivid imagination, and I grew up in an isolated, remote area. I was close to my mother, still close to her. I grew up at the time that television came into Arkansas. I was just exposed to what was being shown, mainly what they were called reruns, B-movies. This was my window on the world. Gotham. Gotham by the river, between the rivers. It's not gonna look better than this. Then when I became an adolescent, I got interested in rock and roll, listened to the radio, we heard all the Sun records coming out of Memphis. This was sexual music, and this is what brought boys and girls together in an exciting way. So we were all into that. Oh shit, did I scrape my shoe?
keep going on that train of thought, which you thought was so amazing about this.
Well, it's just that, like, I think about it a lot because sometimes I'll teach, and it's like the platforms are, like, the people that are coming up watching video, they're totally platform agnostic. So, and this is obvious to younger people, but, like, there's a division that's going on where it's like you used to trust CBS News or New York Times or whatever, and all of that stuff is eroded so quickly. And it's being taken over by somebody who's able to just do it on their own.
Oh, it's true.
Good, bad, and indifferent, because I think it's like led to obviously all kinds of terrible information, and there's no gatekeepers and no vetting. So as much as people hated traditional media, like there's been a complete collapse of solid information.
Well, there's a displacement of knowledge, whether good or bad, and the same kind of like when a gentrification, if you will, but maybe not in a concentrated way.
Yeah.
But it's definitely there's a displacement of groups of people that normally would be kind of on the same wavelength, and now they're all kind of like, Tower of Babel style. They're all getting they're all being fed through different sources now.
Yeah, no, totally. Like the fancy term is disintermediation is what it is. It's like just everything exploded. But when I came up as a young reporter, if you got 3 facts wrong in 3 months, you could lose your job.
Oh,
and that's like the world that I came from.
Those are gone.
Yeah, those are gone. And so, like, I feel
the
like
gatekeepers are gone. They say that about music now too.
Yeah, and the thing is, it can be refreshing because there was a lot about this dominance that allowed certain parts of the country to just dominate national thought, and people rejected it, and anyway.
Hey, Tom, did you have a thought on any of that?
Just taking it all in.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I thought you were moving for the microphone, so I was going to give you the.
He's making sure it's still working.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, I don't mean.
You're good.
I think about this stuff all the time, but I'm more interested in talking about songwriting. I'm sorry.
No. It's a podcast. We just let it go, baby. We just let it go. We have a kind of an outline, and then we let it go because you never. That's why I tell people, like, well, what do you talk about? I was like, you never know.
Yeah,
you really don't, because you'll have an outline. I tell people it's kind of based on who the guests are and what they're. Because the reason I had you guys on, because y'all have such a. Your friendship is really cool. Y'all are very chummy together, and also you're both.
I love you, Tom.
Yeah, just you don't have to kiss on the screen, but the thing is that you both also have a very seasoned vibe to you.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I just knew that you guys would have like thoughts on stuff.
Yeah.
But you want to get to another songwriting question?
Yeah. What's the best one? I was interested in knowing what your first instruments were that you guys played.
I guess I started in piano lessons when I was about 7.
Good move.
Yeah.
So, am I stepping on you?
No.
So I'm self-taught. I've never taken a lesson in filmmaking or music. I always taught myself how to do that stuff. The only thing I ever learned properly was journalism, whatever that means. But did
you go to school for journalism? Is that what?
I went to grad school for journalism.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically, so I could teach later. But I was I moved to New York City thinking I would be a short story writer, and none of my professors told me, like, hey, dude, that's not a job. And so I moved to New York City, and I had to figure it out, and then I found myself in journalism, and I was like, oh, this is kind of interesting, and then it developed into more. Yeah. But as a kid, because I grew up in northeastern Ohio, and it's sort of like pre-Appalachia or post-Appalachia, and so Dulcimer music was a thing, because I grew up around Kent State, which, being Ohio, everything came 10 years later. So when I was growing up, it was like the 60s in Berkeley, but it was really like the late 1970s. And so Dulcimer is what I started.
Yeah, what's really cool is, a regular of my dad's used to be David Schnoffer, and he was the Dulcimer teacher at Vanderbilt. Cool. And he was like known as like world-renowned. And so his claim to fame was teaching Cyndi Lauper.
Oh, yeah, she's super into it, actually.
That was like, that's like the thing I always would tell me about.
It's like a little club, too. Jules Shear is another one who would play on them, and obviously Joni Mitchell. But I remember going to folk festivals in northeastern Ohio with my brother, and I remember seeing a Dulcimer at, I was probably 11 or 12, and I remember just being completely mesmerized by the drone. And even to this day, like, if someone plays it in a certain way, I'm like, I just go back. But it's a beautiful instrument, and it's super easy to learn. And so that's how it started. And then guitar, I started playing kind of like 17 years old or something.
So Tom, what are your early, or what are your biggest, like, because people say, oh, well, he sounds like Cat Stevens or something. Like, what are your early music influences?
Paul Simon is pretty.
Yeah, Paul Simon. We had the Graceland album on LP, but we never listened to records, really. We had everything on cassette tape. So my mom had dubbed it to a cassette tape that we listened to in the car all the time.
Oh,
and
wow.
so that album was very formative for me.
Your mom sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Graceland, I mean, as a bass player, Graceland's a great record.
Sure, yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I can't remember the guy. I can't probably pronounce the guy's name that plays bass on that, but it is. It's
he was
great.
in Paul's band still last year when I saw him at the
What a gig.
Ryman. Yeah, he was the only guy remaining from the Graceland era.
That's how well he played the bass on that record. It's like everyone's like they show up to the gigs and they're like, it's the same guy. It's the same guy. Yeah.
that
Can you
guy.
play that? Can you play that bass break? Yes. You can call me Betty. Yeah.
I want to pivot back to. You said Ohio. Is that
Yeah.
where Crazy Motherfucker from Shelby,
Yeah.
Ohio comes from?
Yeah.
So what is it? Shelby, Ohio specifically? you're
No,
from?
people. But it's funny in Ohio, the people that hear that song always ask me about that song.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I'm not actually from Shelby. I'm from like an hour from there.
No, but wasn't
There's
that
a-
something you overheard somebody say?
That's true. Yeah, I was at
Yeah.
a party and this guy had a fringe jacket and he kept saying, "I'm a crazy motherfucker from Shelby, Ohio." and everyone's like, "All right," and it went on all night. And I was like, clocked that
You
one.
just like every time someone comes in, you just let them know, hey, that guy's gonna tell you he's a crazy motherfucker right there.
Yeah,
Just be
yeah.
prepared.
He had like the leather fringe jacket. Like it was like a David Lynch movie or something. Like he came in, it was like kind of
Love
alarming.
David Lynch.
He was trying to make it a catchphrase, like when George Costanza tries to make his own nickname.
T-Bone. But there's no T in your name. What about G-Bone?
There's no G-bone.
There's a G-spot.
That's a myth.
What was his nickname?
T-Bone.
There's a lyric, there's a line in that song that says, "I can drive real fast because my cousin's a cop here."
Yeah.
It hit me, and I was just like, whoa.
Yeah, that's growing up in a small town.
When I listened to your, you sent me your Bandcamp link, and I listened to all of the songs on Friday. Yeah, I mean, I'm doing research. No, I loved it all. But you have such a wide genre range. Like, a lot of the songs sounded dramatically different from each other.
Yeah.
And how do you... Or do you just you just write a song to put it out there and it kind of, so you don't stick to one genre?
No, definitely not. And I mean, it's all that record that's up on Bandcamp is all the same band too. That's how
incredible.
talented. And
Who's
actually,
who's in the band?
So this is a brag fest because
do it.
I recorded this some years ago, right before I was leaving New York City. So the drummer is Mark Stepro. He's in the Wallflowers now. Aaron Lee Tashin, who's here, is the guitar player, and then the bass player is a guy named Chris Morrissey, who's a well-known jazz player with like Mark Giuliani, but he also has been Nora Jones's musical director, and so like these are all stars. And then my friend Tomac, the guitar player, is the guitar player in Hamilton, and then Mario, who plays violas in Silk Road and played with Yo-Yo Ma. Like it was like crazy.
So how
Is
did
that
you?
the
how
same
did you?
Mario that we know?
No,
Different
Mario's a
Mario.
woman actually. She's from Japan, and her.
I've never met a female Mario.
I'd never met her either. Yeah,
It's-
Mario
she's
Goat.
happens when she's a
Mario.
mushroom.
Yeah, she's actually even the and this is like it goes on because these are all friends of mine just from living in New York. She's the viola player in the Game of Thrones song.
Yeah,
Like she's like she pops up like yeah. So she's
tearing it up.
She's a cat. Yeah, they all are. But yeah, they were when the way that I met all those people was directly because of Mark Stepro and Aaron Lee Tashin, who lived in New York at the time. And I had written songs that a songwriter here named Tim Easton has covered. Mm-hmm. And they knew these songs. And then when they found that I lived in New York, they tracked me down. And I was totally out of playing. I wasn't playing anymore. And because I had like a full-time gig and raising kids and stuff. And they kind of pulled me out of retirement. So I'm forever grateful for them because I probably would have just never made a record again had they not said, oh, we should make a record. Yeah. So.
And you have that one that's like the field recording.
Yeah.
That was in an actual field?
That is an actual field recording. Oh yeah, and just to put a button on with the band thing, that band was so versatile that we were able to just, if we had an idea like, oh, this would be a cool, 4-bar part with a horn section, one of the guys in the band would know how to play a horn because they were good in high school. Like it was just whatever I asked for, they could just do it.
Yeah, because some of them sound like a couple of them sound like punk songs.
Yeah.
And then a couple of them are like ballads, and I'm like, and one was like kind of country. I forget which one was kind of country, but
yeah,
the field one's kind of country.
The field one is that happened. I was actually on tour with Tim Easton. Took me to Alaska 2 years ago, and so for a month we were touring like people's homes and stuff. It was amazing. And we went to something called Salmon Fest, which is a pretty big outdoor concert, and Tim was a featured guest, and I was just sleeping in his bunk. But somebody heard me playing that song, and later that night they said, "Oh, you should. This is crazy. This is like the best music story I have. So thank you." But I was playing the song, and then some people said, "Oh, we should play that song around the campfire." And so there were like hundreds of people doing campfire songs. And right as I started playing it, I knew I was going to sing it with this woman, Kat. We went through it one time, and she's a great singer. And then all of a sudden, a viola player came up who was there with one of the bands. And then all of a sudden, a 4-part harmony group stepped in, and I didn't even know they were there. And so when the new 4-part harmony kicks in, it was like, whoa!
It's like the curtain change for like the halfway point of like a musical where everybody just comes together all from off stage.
Yeah, and it was like a true like moment captured in real time that had no planning at all. So like in some ways, I'm kind of happier with that. And it was recorded on an iPhone I can't remember the town, but like really like the kind of town where if you get stuck, you might have to wait a day to get picked up. Like it was in the middle of
don't run out of gas there.
Yeah, exactly.
After dark, you know.
Yeah.
When the blue of the night meets the gold of the day, someone waits for me. In the blue of the night meets the gold of her hair, like a halo turning. If only I could see her, oh how happy you would be. When the blue of the night meets the gold of the day, someone waits for me. When the blue of the night meets the gold of the day, someone waits for me. Come on, come on. When the blue of the night meets the gold of the day, someone waits for me. When the blue of the night meets the gold of the day, someone waits for me.
So that's like a true field recording, which I never thought would happen.
Could you remind us the name of the...
That song's a cover. It's called In the Blue of the Night. And my son, Chris, who's a musician and singer, as well as my other son, Sam, he turned me on to that tune because I've been really interested, at least recently, in 30s and 40s and 50s crooner songs because I love the romanticism of them, the lyrical. And like my joke is like, because it's before people could just kind of easily have sex with people, the love songs are super intense. So I can almost hear the pencils breaking when these guys write these.
Yes.
So there's this romance to it that's like I find so beautiful. And so The Blue of the Night was a Bing Crosby tune. And then somebody else did a cover, but it's from like 1929. And it's just a beautiful song. It has this beautiful change. But went down this road, and I just happened to, that was right when I was thinking about the crooning music, and then all of a sudden this 4-part harmony popped up from behind me, like a movie, like Three Amigos when they turn off the lights and all the animals are there. If you've ever seen that, it was like that.
Love that.
Anyway, so yeah.
Yeah, it's been a minute, but yeah, I can almost imagine.
Yeah, it was kind of, anyway.
I have a Tom specific question,
go ahead.
so we can move it to you. You record the open mics like around town. How did you start doing that? Why do you do it?
Oh boy, good question. I think when I was very young, I got kind of obsessed with recording, and then just capturing my own shows because I enjoyed listening to them afterwards, and also I learned a lot from them. But then I remembered feeling like I was getting too obsessed with it. Like it was ruining the moment, or I was thinking more about the recording than the actual performance. So when I moved to Nashville, I kind of stopped doing that for several years. And then I got to the point where I'm like, God, I wish I had recordings of my last several years in Nashville. So I started, getting these field recorders.
It's a good segue in from anyway. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
and just pressing play at the beginning of a performance. And then for years, I had a gig at the Germantown Art Crawl where I was curating the music. So it was me and several other performers.
Oh, cool.
And I would just record those just for fun because I liked making bootlegs of my friends, basically. And then it just became something that I do. Let me tell you all the story of a man that I once knew. He loved a girl with all his might. The love was pure and true. She was his only love, and his love she felt the same. And two lovers they did meet on the banks of River James.
So now you built the habit, and it's just something you always
Built
have
the
with
habit.
you.
It's become one of my primary hobbies too, going over the tape afterwards.
Do you ever forget the recorder ever?
Sure.
Yeah. So you get that.
Or
No, it's not here.
Or sometimes it doesn't work. The settings are wrong,
Okay.
or something glitches.
So they can be
lose the
temperamental.
file. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I totally have a pitch, which I've talked to Tom about, but I feel like if it's, excuse me, if the media management doesn't break your brain,
tell me about it.
You're creating a true archive, and there's got to be a place in Nashville that would accept a hard drive and know that Fran's open mic is a thing. It won't last forever, and in 20 or 30 years, someone is going to be fascinated by that because it's going to be a really important.
The Tom Schreck time capsule.
Yeah.
If you will.
Actually, one of my favorite recordings of anything I've ever done was actually the last open mic I hosted here. You recorded, and it's just the opening bit, and it's like amazing. It's just so cool, like because you can kind of hear the room ambiance too, and it's just a very neat vibe. Hey, Villager Tavern, how are we doing tonight? Very good, very good. My name's Lucia. I'm going to be your host tonight. This is Songwriter Sundays. So I spent all night listening to your breathing. My heart's lost to the sound of yours beating. It's really cool, and you go out of your way to break them up and send them to people.
Yeah, well, I've gotten pretty good at it, pretty efficient at it.
You're very efficient at it.
I set up a little
impressive,
what's the word I'm looking for? Assembly line. I set up a little assembly line for myself and just knock over the dominoes.
Yeah. I remember the first time I got a recording from Tom, and I was like, wait, for real life? I like, really? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, well, okay, yeah, I'll take it. It's really cool. We really appreciate it.
So how long does it take for you to do the process? How long does it normally take?
Oh, if
You've
I,
gotten now that you've gotten so good at it.
if I got 3 hours of recording, I mean, it depends too because the setup is different for the different venues.
Mm-hmm.
But like a recording from here, maybe an hour.
Yeah, it's not bad. Yeah.
Yeah, going through, changing levels, adding compression, a little bit of effects, then chopping it up. Normalizing the volume overall, because some performers are louder than others, and then chopping it up, labeling it. Yeah, about an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I see you guys written favorite Tom songs.
Oh, I love grape juice.
Grape juice. Okay.
I
Thank
love
you.
grape juice.
Persistence and time. So here's to the grape juice who thinks he's a bottle of wine. Here's to the grape juice who thinks he's a bottle of wine.
I also really like Good Love. And
I think that's an amazing song.
I really like your cover of One Headlight. I really, really love that one.
Takes me back to my, waking up for elementary school days.
I played that on Friday. You came and saw me at the Orchard, but I played that before you got
Oh
there,
yeah,
I
how long
think.
have you had
I
that
know.
gig?
I was like,
I started playing there last fall.
I was really jealous when
Peak
she
Orchard.
told me, she's like texting me, she's like, oh, I went to
told
go
him
see
once
Tom's
I
gig.
was
I was
there
really
already.
jealous. I was like, man, it would be so amazing to go see that. So
I love that gig. I love it.
yeah, because we were, for anyone that we were going to do this a week earlier, and Tom's like, I got to play the Orchard. It was ended up being Father's Day, and I was like, oh yeah, we'll move it. We'll do this later.
Yeah.
So what do you love most about that gig?
It's just a very happy setting. It's just beautiful.
It's not a bar at 1 a.m.
No. The first time I played there, I remember I left and I told a bunch of my friends, and like, that might be the happiest place in Nashville.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now I'm really jealous.
no, he's told me a couple times, like, hey, you got to bring the kids out.
Yeah.
And I went there because generally people will message me and be like, oh, you got to bring your kids to this like gig or this thing. And I'm like, yeah, okay, guys.
No, he was being serious.
And then I go and I scope it out, and this one was legitimately a place where kids could really have a good time. I mean, we're talking like trash can tube slides fun.
So what song do you play that really sets the place off with the apple orchard?
Oh, it's not like that. It's much.
Come on, what
more,
erupts the apple
it's
orchard?
It's much more
Grape juice.
subdued.
Grape juice.
I didn't play grape juice the other night.
No, it's
I do have a song called Apple, and I've played that there.
I love that.
okay.
So that one makes sense. They don't have apples yet.
Was that one in? Okay, go ahead.
They're doing peaches.
The thing that gets the apple orchard going is just a snare.
Just a snare.
Ooh. I always said if I had another daughter, I would name her Apple because my daughter's name are Olive and Pepper. It's Olive Anise and Pepper Rose, and I was going to do Apple Blossom if I ever had another daughter. Yeah. I'm making like a
herbal
cafe.
teas.
Herbal
Yeah,
tea.
they're teas.
Yeah.
Lavender apples.
But yeah, people don't get super fired up at the
That's a
at
great
the apple
name.
orchard. Although I have gotten good response when I do covers people don't expect.
Like what?
Like
Under the Sea, I thought was a pretty unexpected.
Under
one.
the Sea. Under
He
they
did that
love-
in the bar one day for a bunch
Yeah.
of drunk people, and that shit was funny.
I was in the kitchen making a sandwich and I peeked out like,
Yeah, they like Under the
Excuse
Sea. Aerials by System of a Down. They like that one.
yes.
I have even no idea you did that one.
Yeah. I do a lot of standard pop and rock from the 60s and 70s, but then there's just a lot of other songs I love. And
So how do you? So you just basically you're gonna do a song just based off of you really like the song, like as far as covers go. Like there's no like, you're not trying to hit any bullet points with them.
I would say so, yeah. But then there's also a process of me figuring out the way I want to sing it, because
Okay.
I don't necessarily want to sing it exactly like the record. I want to make sure that there's a way where it sounds like something of mine. Like, I'm not trying to steal the song, but like, if I'm not going to put a unique spin on it, I don't really see the point.
Can you give an example of doing a unique spin on a cover?
Well, like the System of a Down song,
Yeah.
for instance. I remember I changed the key. I found the key that works for my voice and for the guitar part and everything. I had to kind of simplify the guitar part. There's a part where the original singer, Serge Tankian, he jumps up an octave and then down an octave, and he sings the same part. I cut that out. I'm like, that doesn't work for this arrangement. If I tried to fit that in, it would feel forced.
Yeah.
And if I were arranging this song from scratch, that wouldn't have been in there.
Yeah.
So you're
okay.
really composing these songs when you're doing covers. You're kind of like.
I think of it as a rearrangement. Yeah.
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 Well, one thing I want to
Sure,
get
yeah.
into before we, because I don't know when we're going to end this just yet right now, but glockenspiel. Where the fuck did the glockenspiel come from?
Oh well, I was a percussionist in middle school band and high school, and mallet percussion was one of the big things I did. Marimba, xylophone, glockenspiel, timpani, so those sorts of things. And you never really lose those skills if you know the layout of a keyboard. You know the layout of a glockenspiel.
So would you say keyboard's kind of the best build as far as playing many instruments? Keyboard was such a great building block.
Of course, yeah. And then also when I went to music school,
where did you go?
Notre Dame.
Okay.
Yeah. Not technically a music school, but I was
Still,
a music major and an English major at Notre Dame.
Yeah.
But you take the theory classes and you learn 4-part voice leading and things like that. I can't imagine any other way to go through that program other than visualizing it on a keyboard. You see the notes on the page, then in my head I visualize them on a keyboard.
Mm-hmm.
That to me that seems like the only way to do it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's you can see, when you back people up, it's so that's one of the most amazing things I've seen live was like just being. I think the first time I saw you do it was at that little theater they have,
Faker's Theater. Yeah.
Yes, and you were backing up
Stargirl.
Yeah, Stargirl,
Yes.
our friend Sophia, and it was so great because I had never seen you do it, and all of a sudden it's because it was her whole band and you, right?
Yeah.
And Tom's over to the far, I think, left of the stage with a glockenspiel over every tune. I thought he was going to do it for one.
Yeah.
Andrew goes,
we're-
"What's that?"
We weren't,
And we looked
quite
over
sure
the
what we were
edge.
going to do.
And I quote, we from the balcony we're screaming, "Rock out with your Glock out."
Yeah.
It was an amazing moment. It was so fun. So JP, do you have any favorite gigs? Any places any rooms?
Well, I love playing here.
Thank you so much.
That's true. I like Franz a lot. I mean, that's where I met everyone.
Yeah, that's how you met Tom, right?
Yeah, that was my first stop because just a couple friends of mine who live here, like, you'd find Franz interesting. So I went there. But there's so many. There's no shortage of cool places to play. But as far as socially, here and Franz and Drifters to some too, those are all places.
I didn't know Drifters had an open mic.
They do, yeah, on a Monday night.
Monday nights.
Ira Barron.
Ira Barron.
Yeah, he's awesome. Yeah, and he's a very supportive like you and
I like that guy.
others. Yeah, he's a good dude for sure. But yeah, those are all good. And then there's places over the years that I've played. When I was living in New York, I loved playing Pete's Candy Store. I used to play there a lot.
Pete's Candy Store.
Great spot. And then when I lived in Ohio, there was a place called Andy Mann's Treehouse that had a tree growing through it, and it was all beige carpet inside. It was like one of those insane.
That does sound insane.
It was insane, and that
you
was
walk
cool.
in there, it's like you're pretty sure a few people are on drugs while they're there.
Well, I definitely like the oddball venues, and the few times that I've played like more luxe things, like opening up for somebody or something like that, it's fun. But I still love, the side of the road aspect of where you play, and spaces that aren't necessarily designed for that on a kind of like an art level. I always like that, like injecting music into an environment. Like when I was a kid, my friend Jennifer and I were in a Dulcimer duo.
Oh wait, bringing it back to the Dulcimer.
Yeah, and we were in a Dulcimer duo, and
that should just be the name of an album or a band or
Dulcimer
something.
duo.
it was. And she was just visiting the other day because she was driving a kid across country. So we're still in touch, but we
As
were
one does.
high school friends. But we had this standing gig in a converted grain silo that was like a store in Akron, and we would just sit in the lobby and play for change. And even to this
beautiful
day,
moment.
It was great. And I remember it was like literally the first time I ever played music in public. And I remember we asked the guy, it was like welcome to showbiz kid thing. We asked the guy, like, how do you get a job like booking bands in a place like this? He goes, getting fired from your last one.
Yeah.
I was booking something a lot better than
Yeah,
this.
basically. And I was like
Yeah.
12 years old, like, like.
So I want to get into something real quick because we were just talking about it. The AI character that you created, JP.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Well, so short version of this friend and I.
Welcome to the future.
Yeah. Well, so this friend and I, Sam Brown, who's a great drummer, he's played with multiple really interesting groups. There's a band Columbus, a guy named Jim Shepard, who put out a record of a band called V3 that's an incredible punk rock record. Sam was a drummer on that, and he's played with New Bomb Turks and like a lot of heavy bands. And so Sam and I are buddies, and we were joking around. It's got a whole backstory that's not worth getting into, but we created this globular-looking figure.
What's it called again?
Glubert. Which apparently now there's like 5 Gluberts, so I think we're going to eventually create a narrative where this
clones quickly.
Well, I think he's going to get sued by the other Gluberts, and he'll have to change his name, and we'll turn that in. I think we're going to just make it up before it happens. But anyway, but we basically created this kind of like Ziggy in a screwed up world character, and so I'm taking typically photographs that we take, and then we insert this figure, and then we write songs.
Okay, so it's a music video format.
It is, and so I've gotten Tim Easton has written songs. I'm going to get you. Anyone, please. This is an open call. But Sam Brown's like a.
You hear that,
really,
Lucia?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I got you.
And we've had some in.
Have you had a Glubert video?
And we had.
No, but I want one.
Have you won a Glubert?
I don't even know what it is.
We've had one in French, several in Spanish, and my friend Mohammed Reza, who's from Tehran, he did one in Farsi. So we're sending them all over the world, and he's like this international character, and it's amazing because you can
like
make
Flat
him
Stanley, but smushy.
Yeah, he's a smushy Stanley. Yeah, he can do everything and anything
That's his
at once.
new name.
Yeah, so it's been interesting because on the one hand, AI is lame in a million ways, but I'm finding it from a creative perspective like highly satisfying.
It's kind of what's the word I'm looking for? It's like entropy. It's kind of just the toothpaste is coming out of the tube, so it's like. Are you gonna like? It's gonna affect everyone's life in a certain sense. I mean, even Tom was telling me about like it's like, or even in like as you know, media, it's like it's being used to expedite the mundane, right?
Yeah.
You have any thoughts on that at all, Tom?
No, I don't want to say too much.
He's like, I work, dude.
They're struggling.
Yeah. I can't really disclose.
Because you really can't talk about like work or anything like that.
Yeah.
But so, I do. I mean, I'm fascinated by this because I remember I'm old enough when I was in grad school when Alta Vista popped and the internet became a thing. And I remember at the time thinking that's not that interesting to me because a lot of my fellow grad students were going out to Silicon Valley to work in online media, and I was like, that just seems kind of like crap, like not that good. Mm-hmm. And I'd rather write for like a magazine or work on a really good documentary.
Yeah, periodicals. Periodicals have been gone for
forever. Yeah. And so, but anyway, this time around, I was teaching at a university, and the first day that ChatGPT came out, I remember running some things through it, and I was like, "This is going to change."
Yeah, we were using ChatGPT to troubleshoot something on the cameras.
Yeah, it's great for things like that. But I have a conflicted, as we all do, I have a conflicted view about it. But sometimes we'll get like a note that people are bummed, like, oh, AI, this is crap. But it's like we're writing all the music, conceiving all the ideas, taking most of the photographs, and assembling it in a video form. So to me, what we're doing is not that different than making films, except the animated character. So if you're an animator, it's Satan's spawn.
Yeah.
But it allows me to create a character that I would never have the ability to do, and everything else I know.
And correct me if I'm wrong here, but I think your series, there's a satirical, there's a self-awareness to it in the way that you use the AI.
He actually, in one of the episodes, Glubert visits the data center that made him.
No shit.
Yeah.
The motherland.
And he also, and there's also the one that I'm most proud of is a French existential short film that I made with him. And he's questioning his own existence because people hate him so much because he's a figment of others' imagination. So yeah, it gets meta.
La technologie a tout changé. Parfois, j'ai l'impression de ne pas en faire partie. Mais j'en fais profondément partie. Je suis cela. Je vis à l'intérieur. Je suis une machine. Pourtant, je me sens fait de chair et de sang. Mes mains, mes pieds, Je peux voir les choses. Je peux montrer des choses aux gens. Mais je ne suis que de l'électricité. Quand je sors en public, les gens me méprisent. Je ne suis pas réel. Je ne suis qu'un produit de l'imagination de quelqu'un d'autre.
That's
Pretty
crazy.
fast. Yeah.
I think on the topic of AI, in academics, it's a really big issue. But I think that AI can be used responsibly because, for instance, in academics, a lot of it is like, it's basically plagiarism. It's just cheating. Like if in an essay, if you are consistently using AI to write your essays, then you never learn how to write. But it can also be
Sorry,
really...
I'm not laughing at what you're saying. What I'm laughing at is the sound of garbage cans.
Toby's taking it out on us.
Yeah, just so that's clear.
We're open.
All right, I've got to open a bar. So my brother's dragging a trash can across the floor very loudly.
Well, we should do a part 2 sometime.
Okay, yeah.
I think we both have plenty more to say.
I do have one quick. May I? A quick thing.
Yeah, go for
which
it.
is when I was my previous job, I was running the content for a PBS station, and the people who were most intent on AI were all the management people, and I'm happy to say this because like I had a bad experience there, was that they couldn't wait to replace people, and they just didn't care less about the quality of things, and they thought, just get AI to do everything, and it was so gross that in an environment like that.
But the thing is, my
that.
experience of using AI in the capacity that I've had to use it is you still have to take on the responsibility of their job to yourself.
I think many people who don't know how to make things but are successful at managing things, they often, and I mean this is a constant struggle for management creative, which is the world I've lived in. There are a lot of people, it's like, how do we get people out of the way so we can just make this more efficient because people are unpredictable. But the reality is you freaking need people if you want work to be good, period. You know, it's just not a discussion. But I remember when this was like a year ago, the people were so,
Toby's sitting over here with a vacuum cleaner. He's like, motherfucker.
Okay. I wish we could
pan
the camera
Yeah, I know. I think it's a perfect
now.
end.
Hey, Toby, actually, go ahead and start vacuuming. We want it on camera.
But I love it for my own individual projects, but I definitely see how people in positions of power think of it as a job-destroying machine to displace people, and it's like it's always in the front of my mind.
Yeah.
Like, how is this going to affect the people? Because we were talking.
I mean, the thing is, it's not that the future hasn't come before and things haven't changed. But the thing about that I've noticed with AI is the exponential, the speed of it is like breakneck.
The amount of money that's been spent on developing AI is dwarfing the Manhattan Project, the bomb. Like,
okay,
that's the
so
amount.
On that note, great way to drop mic drop on that one, JP. Okay, so
Hey Tommy, I love you.
So where can they find you guys?
Nashville Outsider on Instagram is.
We were making
one
the
of the
joke
places.
that he was on the inside today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then NashvilleOutsider.com is my website. I never update. But you know, things are there. NashvilleOutsider.bandcamp.com. That's a great way to hear my whole discography. But also, you know, Tom Schreck. Schreck has 2 C's in it. Tom Schreck on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, those things.
The vacuum is fucking
Here
awesome.
it comes. Yeah.
But you can also
Toby here.
Tom's here a lot. You can see him play here. Also JP. What other open mics do you go to that they can catch you at?
I've been going to Honey Tree Meadery in East Nashville on Tuesdays.
Mm-hmm.
Franz on Wednesdays. Those are the big ones.
Yeah. What you, JP?
So I'm putting a record out song by song on Bandcamp.
Mm-hmm.
So JP Olsen.
Is that what you were
Bandcamp.
listening to, right?
I was listening to the one. Is that the?
Yeah.
because you're doing it song by song.
Yeah.
So then that's what I was listening to.
Yeah, so I've got like 8 or 10 songs on that, and then I also have a YouTube channel because I'm a filmmaker. I have a number of videos of my songs.
Sorry, it's for the bit.
Yeah, that's quite all right. And I'm playing the same places as Tom. But you can find me on YouTube, and you can find me on Bandcamp. And then Gloobert is a creation I've made with a bunch of friends. And I invite all of you to write songs for me, please.
We'll all be affected by Gloobert before too long.
Yeah.
All right. Please like, comment, and subscribe. This is
Send your feet pics.
I'm Andrew. Yes, please. Loose Bolts wants your feet pics.
And your thoughts on John Contour's hit song.
I'm Andrew Perot. Please like, comment, and subscribe. The crazier the comments are, the better the show will do. That is pretty much what I've come to realizing. My co-host for today is Lucia King, and our guests, our very esteemed seasoned guests today are Mr. Tom Schreck and Mr. J.P. Olsen. Cue that exit music.
Sorrow. I like to lie on it sometimes, and I think I'll swing by there first thing tomorrow and read the paper and listen to his dog bark and go to the park, drink a beer, hang with the dog till things get weird. But this old couch is the thing that's lifting me up. May I tell you about the time I woke up and I was in for a red? Just a ghost in a room, just a lump of blankets on